Right now at 4:30, Raleigh dump truck crash. This morning, a big truck put back on its wheels after rolling over on Capitol Boulevard. What we know about the driver's injuries.
Well, massive flames. We have new video showing fire shooting out of an apartment building. Details of this morning's response to those tall flames and billowing smoke.
And last night's storms are over, but we could see another round this afternoon. I'll show you when that happens and who's most likely to see those storms.
And lifeguard shortages, local pools having trouble with staffing this summer. The push to get people hired during this heat wave. A lot of people flock to those pools, so we need the lifeguards to show up. We'll have that story and more coming up on your Friday. Thanks for joining us. I'm Michelle McConaughey.
I'm Jeff Hogan. Great to have you with us here at 4:30 on a Friday. We get things jumping early and lots to tell you about. Glad you're with us. Elizabeth Gardner is over in the WRAL Severe Weather Center to start us off with that severe risk.
So we have a severe weather threat again for today. It's most of the viewing area and it's a level 1, looking at the potential for 40 to 60 mile per hour wind gusts, some small hail, and the usual timeline afternoon and evening. Those wind gusts are going to be our biggest threat. And the usual timeline too could start as early as right around lunchtime, about a 30% chance through the afternoon and evening, just like we saw yesterday. And coming up, I'm going to show you where we saw some severe storms yesterday. I'll kind of talk more about where those storms could pop up on future cast. Right now, it's a warm and muggy start here in Fenton, 75 degrees in the Triangle with a dew point of 70. And that kept our heat index down slightly yesterday. Same thing again today. Upper 60s in Roxborough, but elsewhere our temperatures are mostly in the mid 70s as you're heading out the door. The heat index by 1 o'clock climbs to 100, but stays at around 101 or 102 during the afternoon. And the criteria for a heat advisory is 105. So we're going to keep it just under heat advisory. Actual highs are in the mid 90s. We'll talk about how much more heat is on the way through the weekend coming up.
Breaking news this morning. Tow trucks were on the scene after a dump truck flipped over on Capitol Boulevard in Raleigh. It happened just before midnight near the overpass for I-540. The driver suffered minor injuries. No charges are expected, and crews were able to get that dump truck back on its wheels and removed from the road about 2 a.m.
And Raleigh police are looking for a suspect this morning after someone was stabbed at a bus station. It happened on South Blunt Street. The victim's injuries were non-life-threatening.
After several days topping 100 degrees, we know many folks will want to spend their weekend at the pool. There's a trouble spot, though, that could put a damper on those pool parties. And WRAL's Flynn Snyder joins us from the Optimist Pool in Raleigh. Flynn, a lifeguard shortage is keeping those pools from being fully staffed.
Yeah, Jeff, in the midst of this heat wave, people have been showing up to the pools. The lifeguards, not so much. The city's aquatic director says the city needs to fill about 40 lifeguard positions. And with pools expected to be crowded during the upcoming hot weekend, pool staff say they don't have the amount of lifeguards needed at some locations to safely handle full capacity. They're encouraging anyone at least 15 years old to apply who can get lifeguard certified through the city of Raleigh for free. And while they haven't had to close any pools because of the shortage, the city's aquatic director says capacity may be limited at some locations.
We'll go one in for one out just because we only have enough lifeguards for the main pool or perhaps for different areas. Sometimes we have to close the wading pool, which is a disappointment for parents with small children that are counting on that being open.
Yeah, not just in Raleigh, they're seeing the shortage. Officials in Durham say they're also looking to fill about 40 lifeguard positions. Here in Raleigh, officials say their biggest challenge is finding people available to work those weekend and evening shifts. Flynn Snyder, live in Raleigh, WRAL News.
Almost all outages have been restored in Apex after a quick round of storms knocked out power and knocked down trees last night. You're looking at video from William Street in Apex near Beaver Creek Commons. As many as 2,200 people lost power in Wake County last night from the quick downburst storm.
Breaking news out of Mebane, where fire crews are fighting an apartment fire early this morning. A neighbor took this video at the Stonebrook Apartments on Dogwood Drive and shared it with WRAL. You can see the massive flames and smoke billowing from the roof of that building. It happened shortly before 2 this morning, and we are working to learn what caused the fire and how many units were affected.
A motorcyclist is recovering after being seriously hurt in a motorcycle crash overnight. Raleigh police say the motorcycle crashed near Hillsborough Street and Brooks Avenue around 9 p.m. and was taken to the hospital. Police and fire were on the scene last night working the crash, and the road was eventually reopened.
And more breaking news. A person is in the hospital with life-threatening injuries after being hit by a vehicle in Fayetteville. This is video from the WRAL breaking news tracker on Owen Drive near Village Drive. The crash happened about 10:45 last night. The driver involved remained on the scene. We are working to learn if that driver will face charges.
Governor Josh Stein will be in western North Carolina today as Chimney Rock State Park reopens to visitors. Access to the state park has been limited since September after the park's entrance bridge was destroyed by Hurricane Helene. The governor called Chimney Rock a jewel of western North Carolina. He says opening the state park will draw tourists back to the area. Advance reservations are required and capacity is limited as recovery efforts continue. You can book your spot right now on chimneyrockpark.com.
A new resource is available for young people in Fayetteville. The city will open a new community center this afternoon on Murchison Road. The center will offer low-cost mental health services as well as youth enrichment programs, academic tutoring, and career development. The newly renovated facility was made possible thanks to $1 million in funds from the American Rescue Plan. There will be a key handoff ceremony this afternoon at 2 p.m.
Tornadoes were seen around Minnesota as the state experienced severe weather yesterday. Take a look at this video here. A driver captured this video of a twister building up in strength near Heartland, that's south of Minneapolis. Another tornado was seen in a field in Hayward, the tornado siren blaring in the background. Thankfully, that twister eventually died out before it could grow in intensity. Reports of damage are still coming together this morning.
City of Raleigh will begin distributing NOAA weather radios to the community tomorrow. NOAA weather radios can be critical during severe weather because they deliver continuous updates from the National Weather Service. They offer prompt alerts, helping people remain informed and ready even when the power goes out. The city is partnering with Southeast Raleigh Promise to hand out weather radios during a community resource fair tomorrow. It starts at 11 in the morning at Green Road Park.
The man accused of helping bomb a California fertility clinic died by suicide. Daniel Park was found unresponsive in his cell in Los Angeles Tuesday morning and pronounced dead at the hospital. The medical examiner's office listed the manner of death as suicide and the cause as blunt force trauma. No further details were given. Earlier this month, Park was charged with supplying chemicals for explosives to the bomber who died in that explosion. The investigation is ongoing.
A bright flash in the sky. Have you seen this video? The meteorite streaking through the sky in the southeast. It was taken in Lexington County, South Carolina. It was also reportedly seen from western North Carolina. A flash of light you see appears to be a meteor entering our atmosphere at a tremendous speed.
Just a huge ball of fire just literally fell out of the sky.
NASA says that meteor entered Earth's atmosphere with energy equivalent to about 20 tons of dynamite.
Wow, my goodness. Well, the NHL draft kicks off tonight in Los Angeles. The first round starts tonight at 7. The Hurricanes have the 29th pick. Rounds 2 through 7 begin tomorrow at noon. NHL free agency starts on Tuesday.
World's largest swimming lesson was held in Raleigh. It was held yesterday at the Optimist Aquatic Center in partnership with Raleigh Parks and Recreation. The goal is to promote awareness about teaching kids how to swim and avoid drowning, and included a special guest. Olympic gold medalist Cullen Jones was there. Research shows drowning has become the leading cause of unintended deaths for children ages 1 to 4.
Anyone can do it. It just takes hard work, perseverance, and dedication. But the swimming piece, that's the part that I want to get home for everyone. Anyone can learn to swim. We're not built for the water, but we can learn to be safer around the water.
The World Health Organization estimates 236,000 people died from drowning in 2019, making drowning a major public health problem worldwide. Cell phone restrictions. Legislation requiring devices to be turned off in school is waiting for the governor's signature. How this could impact your child's school policies.
Plus, airport innovation. New scanners could prevent security from having to unpack your bags at TSA checkpoints. The surprising other uses for the machines that could save lives.
We're seeing a slight cool down today. You still feel the heat though when you're out there. A live look at Fenton and Cary right now as we wait for the sun to rise. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner tracks our chances for severe storms this afternoon.
From the WRAL Severe Weather Center, North Carolina's most experienced team of meteorologists.
It is 4:43. Taking a look outside. Temperatures are mostly in the mid-70s, and our dew point's right around 70. It's a real summer feel again, but it doesn't feel quite as oppressive as it did a couple of days ago. 76 Wilson, 75 Durham, 77 in Fayetteville. Our skies are clear. Could be a little bit of patchy fog in some places because we, of course, have a lot of moisture in the atmosphere, but for the most part, we are clear. So we have the top of the tower lit in blue. We do have the potential for thunderstorms again this afternoon, very similar to yesterday. Those cells that pop up could have some strong damaging winds and some very heavy rain, some small hail. It is really the entire viewing area. But that said, you know, it's not that everybody's going to see them. I kept kind of hoping for some rain at my house. We had rain in one part of Wake County and another part of Wake County and not any at my house. Same story for today. It's a 30 to 40% chance starting just after lunchtime and lasting until around sunset. Heat index for today, feeling like the 70s really all the way till 9 a.m. So a much bigger window to get outside today. We get into the triple digits from about 1 to 6 o'clock, but it's low triple digits. Jeff, it's going to feel just fine, right? Michelle?
Hopefully. Thanks, Elizabeth. Well, another round of storms knocked out power for thousands in our area last night. Those outages are mostly restored this morning. WRAL's Ali Kadlabar joins us from the WRAL Breaking News Tracker in Apex. Ali, crews are out now finishing their work in that area.
Yes, and we see about 6 utility trucks still here. They've been here for more than 7 hours overnight trying to make these repairs. So take a look behind me. You can see there's 2 utility crews, 2 utility workers in those buckets right there. It looks like they're trying to fix this utility line as well. Now, we also see that police are blocking off Williams Street. That is by Beaver Commons. Beaver Creek, let me get this right for you guys. But they're blocking off a stretch still, and we are still working to learn kind of when this is going to be over, if it's going to impact your morning commute, and we're going to keep you guys updated throughout the morning. Reporting in Apex, Ali Kadlabar, WRAL News.
Cell phone restrictions could be required in every North Carolina school under a bill that's headed to the governor's desk this morning for signing. And lawmakers had been debating this for months, agreed on it this week. House Bill 959. The bill applies to any wireless communication devices, and it says they must be turned off with few exceptions. All school boards would need to create cell phone policies and create consequences for violating them. If signed into law, the legislation would require many school boards to alter smartphone policies they've already passed. That's because some don't allow as many exceptions as the law requires. New airport technology could change what you're allowed to bring on a plane. A local company is working on a new type of baggage scanner that could save you time and keep you from buying those expensive bottles of water in the airport. WRAL's Heidi Kirk went inside the facility in Hillsborough where it's being developed.
Now, all of that work is happening here at this old textile mill in Hillsborough. Not only is the team here at Quadradocs using X-ray technology to create this, a checked baggage scanner, but they're also using it to create cancer detecting tools.
The main workspace is just one room.
We do all of the design, manufacturing, and assembling of our systems here.
But the technology that's being made here is revolutionary.
The X-ray systems that are currently scanning bags and check baggage have been around for almost 20 years now. And so those systems are aging out.
And that's why this team is putting their heads together to find the future of airport security. Co-founder and CEO Joel Greenberg says right now, the focus is on these machines, specifically for scanning checked baggage.
Our technology can help make it so that it's more likely that your bag doesn't get opened, more likely that your bag makes it to you at the end of your journey, and behind the scenes makes the TSA and the whole process more efficient.
Eventually, he says it could even be implemented at TSA security checkpoints, making it so you could bring a bottle of water through security. In other uses, it could save lives by detecting cancer.
These systems allow us to not just detect potential tumors or lumps, but also tell you with confirmation that it is a malignant cancerous tumor as opposed to a benign tumor.
The research and development that's happening here in this room is one of its kind, changing lives beyond the triangle.
The hope is to start testing this baggage scanner technology in airports next year. Heidi Kirk, WRAL News in Hillsborough.
If you plan to stop by the DMV this weekend without an appointment, make other plans. Offices will be closed for the next 2 weekends. They will be closed Saturday, June 28th and July 5th. Saturday services will resume on July 12th. It comes after the department extended hours for walk-in services at 20 driver's license offices across the state.
Special Olympics North Carolina held its USA Games selection show last night. Several athletes from the Triangle and across the state are headed to Minnesota next June to compete in the Special Olympics USA Games. Competitions, among other things, include 5-on-5 basketball, powerlifting, and tennis. Yesterday's selection show was co-hosted by WRAL's Ken Smith and Special Olympics athlete Brian Henry. Just to get the word that you're going to the Nationals. That's a great call. Elizabeth Gardner in the WRAL Severe Weather Center right now with what's happening. Our next weather maker going to roll in.
Right now, I think that we would cheer if we could get rid of this pattern, but it's only going to very slowly kind of drift away from us. Next weather maker is really just the same weather pattern. We have high pressure sitting over us. That's keeping things very hot for us. And then we'll have a few isolated cells bubble up, and those will produce some heavy rain and the potential for some wind damage, just like we saw yesterday. It is a level 1 risk, so winds could be gusting 40 to 60, and we'll definitely have pockets of heavy rain and some lightning, and it won't be everybody. It's just going to be, the afternoon and evening pop-up cells. So let's take a look at when they can happen. Starting right around lunchtime between 12 and 1, a few of these cells begin to pop up, and they could be anywhere. There's really not going to be a favored location. And again, it's a 30 to 40% chance. That means that less than half of us will actually see any of these cells for today. Very similar to yesterday. We have clear skies right now at Fenton and Cary, and it's warm, 75 with a dew point of 70. Our dew point stays closer to 70 today. About 2 or 3 days ago when we had the extreme heat, that dew point was way up at 77, 78, and that amount of moisture in the atmosphere really makes that heat index climb. It's 68 in Roxborough, 76 in Goldsboro, 77 Fayetteville, 75 there in Southern Pines, and temperatures are in the low to mid 70s in the Triangle too, 72 Apex, 71 in Holly Springs, 75 in Garner. Around town, it's still going to be hot today, 96 in Durham and Raleigh, and 97 in Fayetteville, but with a little bit of drop in that dew point or in the amount of moisture in the atmosphere, we're going to keep it just below heat advisory criteria. So feeling like 102 today, 101 tomorrow, 103 Sunday, 102 Monday, 102 Tuesday. So that's still really hot, but 105 is the threshold for a heat advisory. It stays hot through the weekend, 95 Saturday and Sunday, and we're going to just paste a 30% chance of thunderstorms all across the weekend. So things just really don't change. We bump up to maybe 50% on Tuesday, maybe down to a 20% chance on Thursday, but for the most part, it's just hot and humid with afternoon thunderstorms for the next 7 days.
All right, thanks, Elizabeth. Dye-free foods. There is a push from companies and government bodies to remove synthetic dyes from the things that we eat. Coming up, the extra nutritional benefits that could come from cutting these dyes.
And going on tour, Adam Sandler will be taking his comedy act across the nation. Details of the show and much more in entertainment news in our Hollywood Minute.
Adam Sandler is spreading laughs across America, and a sequel is announced for a successful live-action remake. Douglas Hyde has the latest in this morning's Hollywood Minute.
It's very nice.
Adam Sandler is hitting the road. The Sandman just announced a stand-up comedy tour that will take him to 30 cities across the U.S. The arena tour, called Adam Sandler, You're My Best Friend, kicks off in September. A sequel to the live-action remake of Lilo and Stitch is in the works, and Stitch broke the news himself on social media. It's a decision that certainly makes financial sense for Disney. The remake is on track to become this year's first billion-dollar blockbuster. No final rest for Spirit in the Sky. Norman Greenbaum's 1969 classic lives on in a new music video. It's tied to the vinyl re-release of the album it came from. A remixed version of the song came out earlier this year, And if you look closely, there's Green Bomb himself in the video, getting into the spirit. In Hollywood, I'm Douglas Hyde.
The Adam Sandler tour, by the way, comes through Raleigh September 11th at the Lenovo Center. Can't wait for that. The movement to get rid of synthetic dyes in food is growing, and a new study reveals why the push could bring additional benefits. Researchers found food and drinks with synthetic dyes contain 141% more sugar on average than products without dyes. Some food industry giants have already taken action, like Kraft Heinz. They'll phase out dyes from remaining products before the end of 2027. And Nestle said it'll do the same within the next year.
Mount Olive Pickle Company has a new pickle parlor in downtown Mount Olive. Here are some pictures of what it has to offer. It's on North Center Street. There is pickle-themed merchandise as well as artifacts and images from the company's nearly 100-year history. They even have a pickle bar because, come on, you need a pickle bar. The store is open weekdays from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. An overturned dump truck, a driver is hurt after crashing on Capitol Boulevard. The early morning traffic trouble in Raleigh.
And flames through the roof. An apartment is scorched by fire. The response from fire crews battling that burn.
Plus, pressure at the pools. There's a lifeguard shortage as we experience a major heat wave. How the staffing troubles could impact your weekend in the water.